Welcome to the live decision making skill session. Today, I wish to share an incident with you. It was happened in 2021, and I was working as a medical imaging technologist in a hospital. So one day, that I was leaving from the home to my duty, that is in the morning schedule I have on that day. So I'm leaving from home. I had a call, so I just attended the call because it was an emergency call. And I just talking in the phone, I just forgot about the time. And I talked with the person with 10 to 15 minutes because it's an emergency one. And just I entered that call, and then I'm thinking about I lost 10 to 15 minutes to reach my office. That is my department. So I'm just started from there in my home, and I reached my department by 30 minutes late. So it was a morning schedule, and in the morning schedule, the first person will want to come at the sharp time because that person is starting that day with a new patient or that emergency patient. So just I entered into the department, my boss asked me, why you are so late and what happened? So I just telling them that is what happened. Before that, he told me that is to prepare the machine and everything and take the patient because the patient was waiting there for 30 minutes and patient was fasting and it was an emergency procedure. So I just made everything ready and I just started over. And I'm very much rapidly or hurriedly I'm started, and I'm not searching for the things to do perfectly, just I'm started over. So when the doctor came, he asked a lot of questions about the patient and everything, and I told him that is I don't know, just I came and means taken the patient. So he just suggested me that is before you are taking the patient, you just want to be analyze everything. So he is suggesting all those things, but I'm not hearing it properly. Because what happened from my home that I'm leaving, I'm carried that emotion of sadness and anger because I was late. And I just came inside of the department. My boss asked me about this, why I was late. Then that made me to increase my anger and my sadness. I was late, what I will do and next. So that speeding up of the all the processes, what made me feeling lot of sadness and anger. So that day, it was a very worst day in my duty schedule because I'm not prepared to start with that mode in a busy mode. Every day I will go just 15 or 10 minutes before, then I will get enough time to start all the procedures. So on that day, what happened? I was carried that emotion from my home to that department, and I was facing every situation in that department. I was just dealing this emotion. So today's session is very important because you want to analyze this. Maybe some of them are face this type of problems in your life in every day when you are leaving from your home to office. Maybe some means talk with your parents or your spouse or your relations, anything that made you to increase some anger or anxiety that will leads to means that will carry forward to your office works. What will happen, it will give you all the sadness and anger when you are facing every situation in that time. So it's a source of emotion that is started from a different type of source, that is you are started from home. So there is the source of your anger or sadness, but where you are carrying that in your professional area, when you are talking to the peoples, if you are going for a meeting, so everywhere you will means you feel that anger and sadness that will make you to doing every work and making the decisions will be very much fault, and a lot of problems will come while you are facing this type of situations. So that I'm going to discuss with you today. So, how the sadness and anger will trigger your decision making, and how the nature is coming, and how you can overcome that. So, we will start our today's session, how the sadness and anger triggers the emotions in decision making. So today's topic is that how sadness and anger triggers while making a decision. So every time we will start with the mission and vision of the Joyful Lifestyle Hub. So first I'm going to discuss with you the mission of Joyful Lifestyle Hub. I'm on a mission to help 100,000 people to become successful and help them to live a lifestyle of happiness. So, if you have a goal, passion, or ambition in your life, you need an idea to implement that goal. So, you need planning and you want to take the actions, and maybe in the way of success, you may face any failures. When you are reaching to that success, you need a courageous mindset and you want to be take it as a simple and you want to go and move forward. So when you will reach the success, what is the result of that success is happiness. So I'm on a mission to help 100,000 people to become successful and help them to live a lifestyle of happiness. Then I wish to discuss with you the vision of Joyful Lifestyle Hub. I'm on a vision to build a new moral value based world and also help people to understand and analyze their own life problems and stop the sufferings of their life. So maybe you are not focusing that much on your moral values. What will happen? Everything that you are facing in your life, every situation, that will give you some problems and situations and sufferings that leads to an unsuccessful life. So I'm on a mission to build a new moral value based world. If you are a genuine, a new moral value based person, you can easily deal with the problems and the situations of your life. And I wish to help all the peoples in this Joyful Lifestyle Hub to analyze and understand their own life problems and stop the sufferings of their life. And let's we will move to our today's topic. So first I want to discuss with you the emotions that will trigger in the decision making, especially if you are in your personal and professional life, mainly that is two of them. The first one is sadness and the second one that is the anger. So while these two of the emotion, that is the incidental emotions, will trigger while we are making a decision, what will happen and what will be the effect of that emotions in the decision making? That is the second point that I want to discuss with you. The effect of emotions in decision making. So in that I wish to discuss with you the first point is that you are carry forwarding the nature of these emotions. So in I discussed with that incident happened in my life, what I'm carry forwarded. I know that is I lost the time. So I feel something sad and I felt something anxious. And I feel that is little bit anger while my boss asked me that is why you are so late. So I carry forwarded that nature, that anger or sadness. So the effect of emotions in decision making is that carry forwarding the sadness or anger. So the source of that anger or sadness is from my home and from that moment when I am leaving my home. But where I carry forwarded it into my professional life, into my maybe I am not going to office or otherwise I am going for a meeting or something. I will carry forward that with me. So that is the first effect of emotions while making a decision, especially in every situations that you don't want to be carry forward your emotions through you. So that is the first point. And second point I want to discuss with you, that is blaming the people in different situations. So this is the very worst effect of emotion in decision making, because when you are carry forwarding any of the sadness or anger, what will happen? You will blame the people in different situations. So while you reach your professional area, what will happen? You will blame the peoples. But that source of that blaming or you are feeling that emotion, that is sadness or anger, that is not because of that people. That you are already carried from your home or where place that you are means that you got it that incident. There is the source, but you are blaming the peoples in different situations in because of you are carry forwarding that emotion. So that is a second effect, the effect of emotions in decision making, because Every time you need to be take some decisions in your professional life, there you are feeling that sadness or anger, you are blaming the peoples in different situation in your professional area, that will reduce your self confidence and you cannot get the results. And the third point that I want to discuss with you, that is speed up leads to lose the results, the good results. So you are carry forwarding that nature. Maybe it is a sadness or anger. And while you are reaching some other situations, you are blaming the papers because you are felt that sadness or emotion, that emotion. And because of that, you are speeding up the things that you are doing in your any other areas, any other situations. What will happen? You will lose the results. Everything will be a fault one because you are having that emotion at that time also, because you're feeling that. So the effect of emotions in decision making, that is, the emotions are sadness or anger as the incidental emotions, and why it is effect on the decision making or in your personal or professional life, because you are carry forwarding the nature. And second one, you are blaming the people in different situation, but the source of your emotion is not in that situation. And third one, you are speeding up the things that will leads to the loss of good results. So these are the effects of emotions in decision making, that is a sadness or anger, and how we can overcome that, this emotional triggers, how we can overcome. So that we are going to discuss next. So how to overcome the emotional triggers? The first point that I want to discuss with you, that is consciously stop the carry forwarding nature. If you're feeling something sad when you are leaving from your office, that I'm given a, just an example, you should consciously stop that carry forwarding nature. When you are leaving from home, you should stop from there. You should consciously understand that is happened, and do not carry forward it to the next situation, because you should understand yourself. So that is the first point that I want to discuss with you to overcome the emotional triggers. And the second point that I wish to discuss with you, that is find a alternate way to complete the emotion. So in this one, I wish to tell you that I wish to suggest you something, that is how you can overcome the emotional triggers while you are felt any sadness or anger in any of the situation. In maybe it may be in a professional situation, or maybe in your home or anywhere, find an alternate way to complete the emotion. So how you can alternate that way? If you're feeling something sad, you just understand and you just know about that I'm feeling this much of emotions. So how I can overcome that? So you can make like listening some musics, that is an alternate way, and having some interested food or something, and seeing some natural areas, going for a walkout and seeing some nature. So that's the alternate way to complete that emotion. So you will get settled up in that time, and that will completely stop that emotional suffering from your life. So how to overcome the emotional triggerings like sadness and anger? So find an alternate way to complete the emotion at the same situation, or the next situation that you are moving. You should be conscious and ensure that the previous emotional suffering was entered, and consciously stop the carry forwarding nature. And the third point that I wish to discuss with you, that is practice the gratitude by understanding the emotional trigger. So if you are feeling that I'm not that much feeling good, I'm feeling sad, so collect some good points of view. That is, I'm good. I'm doing this much hard work, and I am good in this work, and I know that myself. So some practice some gratitude, one some good points from your behavior, your nature, your knowledge, everything that you can take it from your side. So practice that gratitude by understanding the emotional trigger. That is, if you're feeling sad, you should understand and you should practice the gratitude. That is, what is your good points? So maybe I will just explain you, that is, when I was leaving from the means from the home and I reached my office, I should want to be practice that gratitude. At that time I was not done, but when I will practice that gratitude, that I understood that this was happened little bit anger I know that. So I will do this work perfectly. I will take the patient very means pleasantly, and I will take the patient with very calm and means understanding, pleasant, and I will do the work as perfectly as I can. So this is the positive attitude and the practicing the gratitude from my side by understanding that is I am feeling anger, I am feeling sad. So that will calm down my emotions and I will be okay for that moment. So these are the points that you can experience, that you can practice, and you will get a lot of experience from that. So how to overcome the emotional triggers? So once I understood these points, that I am trying every situations when I'm feeling some emotional triggers, I understood and I will realize that, and I'm perfectly and consciously I'm stopping that. So, just we will recap what we have learned today through this live decision making skill session. The effects of emotions in decision making. Not carry forward the emotions to one situation to another. And one situation that you have felt any emotional triggers, don't blame the peoples of another situation. So blaming peoples in different situation, for you are feeling the emotion because of, only because of that you are blaming, don't do like that. And third one, that is speed up leads to loss the results. So when you are know that is, you are emotionally down and you are emotionally affected, do not make the decisions because of that, and speeding up leads to the loss of good results. And how to overcome the emotional triggers? The first point that I discussed with you, that is consciously stop the carry forwarding nature. If you are feeling something sad, you understood it, stop it in that situation. And second point, find an alternate way to complete the emotion. Maybe you can listen some music to calm down yourself, or otherwise nature, you are seeing nature and going outside and like that, and having some good food that you are really interested to have. So this is the alternate ways. So what you are most like to do at that time, that you can do it to alternate way to complete that emotion. And the third point, that is practice gratitude. What you are good at by understand the emotional trigger. If you are anger, you think about your happy moments. If you are sad, think about your positive and your abilities and your what you are good at. So that is the best way to overcome the emotional triggers in decision making, especially it will affect the different parts of your life. Maybe it's a professional or personal, or otherwise you need to face a lot of people in every situations of your professional journey. You need to practice this emotional triggers and to stop that one completely. Then you will get a good results in your life. I hope you got a lot of points from today's session. How you can understand your emotional triggers and how you can make the decisions properly in every situations, and how you can make the means different ways, alternate ways to complete the emotion to going to the next situations. So be aware of it, your emotions, your feelings, and how you are responding to that emotions is very important. So do not want to be affect this all this emotions to your personal or professional life, that will lead to a worst effect that I was faced in 2021. That that day I'm talking to the peoples and patients, I'm feeling that I'm not okay, that I know myself, and that leads to doing everything that is going to be a big fault. So the carry forwarding nature is a very bad negative nature of a person, that everybody can't be a positive all the time, but you can consciously convert you to think about, to understand and realize and overcome the emotional triggers. So practice it and experience the differences. And if you have any doubts, you can ask in the FB group. And if anybody is not being the part of this Joyful Lifestyle Hub, you can click the link below and join the Facebook group. There I will guide you and I will give you a lot of information about how you can overcome the situations in your life by using the heuristic joyful method. So we will meet on our next session.